alluded to there, 3D is always one that can run over, and there's so much to discuss, which is obviously a good thing. But up next, we are going to be introducing our next customer presentation from a company actually based over in Brazil, so Redutores EBR, who specialise in providing components for the movement of machinery and equipment, including gearboxes, motors and gear motors. We're going to hear from someone called Braian Peruzzo, who's the Efficiency and Technology Analyst at EBR, and basically just telling us, like with the other ones, all about their implementation of DriveWorks and what they've achieved over the past few years with DriveWorks. Again, what's quite nice about this one is the inclusion of their reseller. So they work really closely with SKA, also based out in Brazil. So we're also going to be hearing from Nícolas Rosseto, who is the Head of Application Engineering team, along with Eduardo Martins, who is the DriveWorks Deployment Technician. With Eduardo and Nícolas and the whole SKA team, it's a really nice story is that actually Ollie and Mark went to visit them last year in Brazil in last September and got to sort of see, obviously meet the whole team and see how much they've been involved with all their DriveWorks customers and the implementations and travel around and actually meet quite a few of those companies that have been working so closely with the SKA team. At the end of the presentation, we are also going to be having a live Q&A. Ollie's going to be joining me on stage and we're going to be interviewing Jean Guerra from the SKA team, who again has been heavily involved in the implementation. So if you do have any questions based on everything that you watch in the upcoming video, please put them in the Q&A facility and we'll try to cover what we can. But for now, enjoy listening to everything that the team at EBR and SK along with them have achieved using DriveWorks.
Hello everyone, and thank you for having us at DriveWorks World. It's an honor to be part of this event, and we appreciate a lot this possibility to share our experience. I'm here representing SKA, the largest CAD reseller on Latin America. Over these years, we help thousands of customers to improve their process both in engineering and manufacturing. And today, I'm here to walk you through a success history that demonstrates how is the real impact of DriveWorks in a company. First things first, let me introduce the SKA. We are a Brazilian company specialized in engineering automation, helping manufacturers to optimize the process through technology. SKA has nearly 700 employees, and we will operate from 14 different offices across the Brazil, and we attending basically all the national territory. With 36 years of experience, we help small, medium, large companies in all industry sectors and kind of different industries. Our mission is to make innovation become accessible, efficient, and scalable. One of our areas of expertise is the integration of CAD automation, PDM, and PLM solutions, ensuring that companies can standardize and accelerate their workflows. And that's exactly what we did with IBR Redutores. So now let's talk about the IBR Redutores. They operate through Brazil, supplying gear motors, reducers, motors, and components for machine and equipment movement. IBR has a strong commitment to immediate delivery, ensuring that the most of the portfolio is always available. Additionally, they are exclusive suppliers for different brands in Brazil. Despite their rapid fulfillment policy, they do not compromise on product quality. They work relentlessly to improve their process and ensure that efficiency does not come at the expense of excellence. Before implementing DriveWorks, IBR Redutores faced expressive challenges. Their engineering team was overloaded due to the high volumes of requests from the sales team. At the beginning of the project, IBR was still striving for excellence in their immediate delivery model. They needed standardization and greater accuracy in their engineering development process. Additionally, other big issue was the server consumption. They attempted to pre-create all potential product variations, but soon discovered that their massive storage effort only covered 5% of possible product variations. And this was completely unsustainable and inefficient. That's where DriveWorks come into play as ideal solution for IBR challenges. With DriveWorks Pro, IBR could automate its product configuration, drastically reducing manual workload and increasing precision. The high competence, ability, and skills of the IBR team was a crucial factor in the project's success. Their learning curve was incredibly short. SKA provided operational training, incorporating IBR's products into the training program. By combining SKA expertise with IBR skilled engineers, we create a success history that is not just about DriveWorks, SKA, or IBR. Actually, it's about synergy between a software developer, a reseller, and a client. And how can we lead to outstanding achievement? But don't just take my word for it. Let's hear directly in the interview from IBR Redutores how was the impact of DriveWorks on their life.
Braian, obrigado pela participação.
Braian, thanks for joining us at this year's DriveWorks World and for representing IBR. To kick things off, considering the challenges you were facing, what benefits have you already seen from using DriveWorks to automate IBR's projects and processes?
Para automatizar os projetos e os processos aí da IBR.
Para falar dos nossos benefícios, vamos começar falando pouco.
Before I talk about the benefits, let me first share a bit about the challenges we were facing. Since we deliver models to customers based on specific requests, our turnaround times were really high. We have many product lines, each with countless assembly options and parts. So, creating the necessary drawings could easily take up to 8 hours, sometimes even 1 or 2 days, and we were handling up to 300 requests per day. At one point, we tried building a drawing library, but that introduced new issues like excessive storage needs with terabytes of data and inconsistent model quality. Often, we didn't have the exact specs the customer asked for, so we'd end up sending something similar, but not exactly what was ordered. Since it was all manual, operational errors were common, and those sometimes reached the customer. Plus, we had a lot of people doing repetitive work that could easily be handled by automation. After implementing DriveWorks, we saw a time savings of around 83%. Drawings and models that used to take 8 hours now take, on average, just 10 minutes. And that's with only 4 product groups configured so far. We also completely eliminated model errors, because now everything is standardized and controlled. Another big win was that other departments now have access to engineering models. It's not just for customers anymore. Leadership, sales, even the production floor can access up-to-date models quickly and easily with just a few clicks. Our models became more reliable too. We no longer send approximate versions. Customers receive exactly what they ordered. The models are 100% accurate. And most importantly, we were able to reassign people who were doing repetitive, manual work to more strategic roles, ones that actually bring more value to the business.
And now let's take a look at a real example. As the video plays, can you walk us through how product configuration works at IBR using DriveWorks?
Sure. Here, we're inside our ERP system. The person requesting a drawing logs in and selects the item formats they need. DriveWorks supports a wide range of formats, so they can choose what suits them best. From there, the product is automatically assembled and enters a request queue, where the requester can track progress in real time. The drawing request is sent to DriveWorks, which goes through the product piece by piece, modeling everything according to the required dimensions. It doesn't generate a generic version. It generates exactly what was requested. Then it builds all the necessary assemblies to match the customer's configuration. Next, it generates the additional files, like the 2D drawing, which is fully customizable. We can automatically create views, dimensions, data sheets, labels, and everything the customer needs. all according to the chosen configuration.
Também de maneira automática, de acordo com o que está configurado dentro do produto. E posteriormente, estando todos
Once all the models are complete, they're saved to a specific location. The requester or salesperson gets a notification that the drawing is ready and can instantly access the final PDF or the 2D model.
já pronto. Ou o modelo 2D também já nas configurações ali. Podem notar que demorou
As you can see,
bem
the whole process takes just a few minutes from start to finish.
pouco processo.
E Brian, olhando para isso e pro
Brian,
ganho
given the impressive results you've already seen, what do you envision as the next steps for DriveWorks at IBR?
do DriveWorks dentro da IBR.
A curto prazo, nós pretendemos expandir
In the short term,
nossas linhas
we
de
plan to expand the number of product lines we have inside DriveWorks. Right now, we've configured 4 main groups, but we want to bring in all our lines and make them accessible across the organization.
necessita acesso na organização. Em médio prazo, pretendemos
In the medium term, we plan to invest in DriveWorks Live. That will let us take our entire product portfolio online and allow customers to submit requests directly from our website in real time. And in the long term, we want to go even further, both internally and for the customer. We're aiming to support even more customization and explore new ways of applying DriveWorks within our engineering processes.
E se uma empresa hoje ela se depara com esses
And
mesmos
finally, if a
desafios,
company today is facing the same challenges you had before implementing DriveWorks, what message would you give them?
essas empresas que têm esses desafios.
É importante a gente sempre
It's essential to embrace technology that helps automate operational tasks and streamline your processes. That shift frees you up to focus on what truly brings strategic value to your business.
É verdade que a implantação
Yes,
ela pode
implementation can be challenging, but the results come fast. And in the end, this transformation impacts the people who matter most, your customers.
Brian, gostaríamos de
Brian,
agradecer
thank you
a
again
sua
for joining us and for sharing this great success story. And a big thank you to IBR as well, for being part of DriveWorks World and for sharing this experience with all of us.
IBR Redutores is just one of many companies and cases that show how DriveWorks are helping to transform the industry here in Brazil. At SKA, we are proud to be part of this journey and on this way, helping companies to unlock their real potential through the automation. Thank you all for your time and enjoy the rest of DriveWorks World.
So thank you to Eduardo, to Nicholas, and of course Brian for sharing that really interesting insight into everything that's been going on at EBR over the past couple of years and with the implementation in particular. As you can probably see on screen now, I am joined by 2 more people. So obviously we've got Ollie here in the studio and then we've got Jean over there in Brazil. Hi, is it good? Yeah, good afternoon, Jean. How's it going?
Oh, it's going good, guys. I think for you it's good afternoon too.
Yes, yeah, we're only 3 hours apart, so not too bad. We just have a nice little catch up about your trip to, or Ollie's trip to Brazil, and spending so much time with the SKA team, which I know that you and Mark got a lot of value out of. But as I said earlier, we're going to actually host a bit of a Q&A now with yourself, just going deeper into those EBR projects and what they have developed using DriveWorks. So Ollie, over to you.
Thank you very much. And Jean, it's really good to see you again. And thank you very much for joining us all the way from Brazil. I think our first customer story from Brazil we've ever done at DriveWorks World.
I believe so, yes.
And it's really great to hear about IBR, what they're doing with DriveWorks, the benefits their implementation's already giving them, and kind of demonstrating as well how they're actually using DriveWorks day to day. One of the things that was interesting was the ERP integration they've got. And it's something that many companies using DriveWorks are doing. They're all using different ERP systems. So could you let us know how they approached that integration? So how did they find out what they needed to do? So which methods? And also, how are they passing data back and forth?
Oh, yeah, sure. So all the integration we carried out with ERP was doing the only native features of DriveWorks. So no development, just some DB carries, DB executed. So we're searching through a lot of databases so we can throw information to the specification. And I think the main tool we use to create some specifications was the database autopilot connector.
Cool.
So
you're looking at the ERP's database and creating specifications based on data being put in there, and then to get data from the ERP to DriveWorks, you're just querying that database.
Yeah.
Great.
It was a lot of work with Braian and the knowledge he had about some SQL, and we worked together to create some queries and create databases, some documentation, some exchange of information.
That's great to hear, and it's great to hear that you're able to set up that integration without having to write any custom code and just being able to use features already built into DriveWorks. And moving on from that ERP integration, it is really good to see all those drawings being automatically generated based on the customer-specific requests. But are there any other file formats that are also being generated, and why are they being generated?
Oh, yeah. So the customer at EBR, he can choose the file format what he wants, because sometimes some clients need to the STL, some step parts to adding into his project, so work with them to create an assembly. So the DriveWorks project with EBR, they are looking for all the specific exportation of any archives we need to export. The most important was the step, and we the PDF, because some clients need to show all the schematic and everything to their clients. So yeah, and some Excel files to use internally and to more like archive some things.
So actually, while people are using the configurator and based on the client that they're working with and what they really need, they're only generating the files they need. So if they need a step file, they can select step file and then have that specification create all the files that they actually want.
Yeah, exactly. So it's more like on demand some things, because some clients need one, sometimes mid client needs more. So it's the customer choose.
That's really good. And going back to Braian's and the company and IBR's initial approach, trying to create absolutely everything they might ever need, and realizing that that's a challenging thing to do. So yeah. Just moving on, and for that design automation, taking a little step back, are there any specific features that Braian or yourself helping Braian implement the design automation can't live without? Are they using generation tasks or any other features for their design automation?
Yeah, we had a lot of generation tasking, but the most specific about drawings, I think we had used all the generation tasks with drawings, so tested something. So I think the most used was the good and old rescale and position view, because we changed the scale, we changed the local of the view in the drawing. And since EBR need precision, they need the drawings, the clients need to see, we really used, I think, the most the rescale and position view.
It's a really useful task. And for that task, there is an optional setting that you can pass in a list of scales that are valid. Are you using this, or are you just letting DriveWorks work out the best fit?
Some of generation, some specific. We had the scale passing. I think we had a range of 50 scales.
Okay.
And some of them DriveWorks just calculated. We believe in the software intelligence, and the software always makes some good choices.
That's very good to hear. Braian mentioned a little bit about how they want to continue using DriveWorks and develop the implementation, and potentially using DriveWorks Live to open up their products to more people. After they've built that configurator that more people can go ahead and use via DriveWorks Live, will that also directly interact with their ERP system, or is that going to be another part of the workflow?
So the plan with DriveWorks Live at BR is to give the customer the responsibility and autonomy to create and request their own project without need for a sales representative. So don't need to pass through commercial flow. The client just open a site, request a new specification, and then intention also for the DriveWorks itself to carry the initial ERP inputs. So the DriveWorks will create the ERP, and then to DriveWorks Autopilot will bring information again to DriveWorks.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Jean. I think that's all we probably have time for.
Yes, unfortunately so. I think we could have carried that conversation on for a lot longer. But I did want to just add one final thing, Jean, and it was just to make reference to your lovely shirt there with obviously both the DriveWorks and the SKA logos. Good representation.
Thank you, guys. It's our ceremonial suite.
But thank you again, obviously, to yourself, Jean, and then to Eduardo, Nicholas, and of course Braian from EBR for this really great insight to everything that's been achieved. We're going to take a short break now, and we'll be back soon. Thanks, John.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.